presidential candidate Nikki Haley has decided to say some things that I think her husband should be concerned about, because she was on Fox News and she was asked to comment on Donald Trump. She says some fascinating things. Let's watch.
What changed yours to not go on the attack? I mean, you're a little, less direct than that, but to question Donald Trump more, knowing that you risk the wrath of his voters and supporters who are pretty much in lockstep with him and make up a large part of the Republican base right now.
Neil, his voters and supporters and the American people want the truth. I just speak hard truths. You've got some people who are mad that I don't love Trump 100% of the time. I don't love my husband 100% of the time. You've got some people who are upset that I don't disagree with him 100% of the time. I think he was the right president at the right time. I call it like I see it. And so, look, I think he was the right president at the right time. I just think we need to move forward. Our country can't keep dealing with this chaos and this negativity.
I'm sorry, Governor, does that mean he's the wrong president this time?
I mean, she's running against him in the Republican primary, so clearly she thinks that, but she's not willing to say it outright, considering the fact.
Get out of the race. Get out of the race.
Yeah, no, seriously, but
stop humiliating yourself and your husband.
No, that husband comment. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
But why did you do that?
I mean,
okay,
you're comparing your husband to Trump, and you're saying you're not satisfied with him.
I'm not happy with him 100% of the time either, my husband.
I mean, it's a cucktastrophhe.
Don't do that. Don't do that to your husband. That's just not.
Yeah.
That's not good.
All right, look, but Nikki Haley's not alone, and there's a serious element to the story other than her cucking her husband on national TV. A lot in Washington, there's this thing of you're not allowed to criticize the leaders of the parties. Now, Republicans and Democrats are very different, though. Okay, so for Republicans, it's actually not Washington. To be clear, it's the voters. The voters are like, we love Trump, and if you're running against Trump and you criticize him, we hate you. Gee, I wonder who's going to win. Okay, if the voters say, I'll disown you if you criticize the guy you're running against, they've already made up their minds and you're screwed. Okay, so but that's organic, it's at least the voters. But for the Democrats, it's not the voters. It's the people in power. They're like, you cannot criticize Biden. That will hurt the Democratic Party. Don't you dare ever say anything bad against Biden. But wait a minute, like people like Marianne Williams, they're running against Biden. What do you want them to do? They're like, don't you criticize, otherwise we'll say you're a radical who's helping Trump. What kind of absurd standard is that? How are we supposed to have a race? If you're gonna have a race, you say, I'm better, that person is worse, elect me. But the Democrats are afraid to do it because the press and other Democratic politicians will rip their heads off. And the Republicans are afraid to do it because their voters will rip their heads off. So we're having these nonsensical elections where no one is allowed to criticize the leader of either party.
Well, look, I would say that given the dynamic that you just laid out, what is transpiring on the right side of the aisle is far healthier than what is transpiring on the left side of the aisle.
I actually agree.
Right?
I actually
because they're scared of their voters, meaning they are listening to their voters. Whereas, generally speaking, on the left side of the aisle, there's a lot of, no, we have decided who the preordained individual is, and you must support him. And if you don't support him, you are a Nazi. Or enabling Nazis. That's what you are. Like that is the that is the messaging, honestly.
And that, by the way, is not online activists. That's mainstream media that says that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Why do you think they keep asking AOC? They've been asking AOC whether she's going to endorse Biden for months.
And guys, it's not an earnest question like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, does she have an interesting candidate and that we should be paying attention to? No, it's a way of bullying her. So they'll ask nonstop. Oh yeah? Are you gonna support Biden? Or are you gonna help Trump? But wait a minute, we're in a primary, we didn't even get to Trump yet. We think Biden is like, as a progressive, I'll tell you right now, I think Biden's gonna lose. And we all know it, he's way too old, he's falling down, he's falling apart at the seams. We all know it. He's in the 30s sometimes in approval ratings. He just climbed up into the low 40s right now. He's 10 points lower than he was when he beat Trump, and he barely beat Trump in the electoral college. He's gonna lose, but mainstream media is like, don't you dare oppose Joe Biden. It must be Joe Biden. Wait, I thought you guys were objective. Hilarious. Of course, I didn't think that. I know that they're massively biased in favor of the powerful, the elites, and Democratic leadership they adore. Somebody needs to go in there and be a bull in a china shop and go, I don't give a goddamn what you think in mainstream media. I'm gonna run against this son of a bitch and I'm gonna show you how it's done, okay? And actually run with strength and run to oppose him. By the way, both of Biden and Trump. The only person in any race that's beginning to do that is Chris Christie, who's kind of like doing.
Not beginning, he's been attacking Trump.
To be fair,
pretty harshly, yeah.
Yeah, actually attacking Trump, understands what an election is, and yeah, it's a tough sledding because the Republican voters love Trump, but at least he's got the courage to take on that phenomenon and try to win the race. So I don't see anybody else trying to win any races. And Nikki Haley's the most pathetic of all. Well, like, I'm sorry for disagreeing with him 10%, I'm so sorry.
Sometimes I disagree with my husband too. Okay, let's watch a little bit more of that interaction because I am curious of what else she had to say.
I have said, and I say it to every Republican candidate who's going to get on that debate stage, I will support the Republican that comes out of that. Certainly I want it to be me, but I'm going to support the Republican because I don't believe that America can afford President Kamala Harris. And we all need to remember that. The guys on the stage need to understand this is not about being personal. It's not about being petty. They've got to get over it. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that President Kamala Harris is never president of the United States.
I actually think what she said there, that line of attack against the Biden ticket might be effective, considering Biden is unpopular, his approval rating is very low, but it's high compared to Kamala Harris's approval rating.
Yeah, but it's a kind of a weird thing to attack Kamala Harris. I get it, it's because of the age. I'm not,
yeah, the message she's sending is Biden is likely going to pass away if he gets reelected, like during his term, his second term. Yeah. And then you'll have a President Kamala Harris.
Right, but you guys, the Republicans already hate Biden. So why are you bothering bringing Kamala Harris into this? Maybe because she's slightly more unpopular, but it might be that your base thinks Kamala Harris way worse than Biden. Kamala Harris hasn't even done anything yet.
Yeah, I mean they've locked her in a basement. Like I don't even know where she's at.
So I don't think she's a good candidate either, but for very, very different reasons than the Republicans do.
Right.
And so she's bringing up Kamala Harris here, like, don't worry, I'm opposed to those people. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got it. Don't worry, your voters already hate Biden. You don't have to worry about picking up, attacking Kamala Harris to trigger them for other reasons.
No, but I'm thinking that was her attempt at appealing to independent voters. Right? So
but
who knows?
She's in a Republican primary, what difference does it make?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just, Nikki, bottom line, get out of the race, go fix your marriage, okay? Or whatever's going on with your husband. So, because you have no chance of winning and this is embarrassing. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.